Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chasing a Murderer. We are on part 134 of Life Beyond the Grave, which is about the Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell story, which are also known as the Doomsday Couple. Lori Vallow and her brother Alex Cox shot Charles Vallow, they say in self-defense. But we are about to learn that Lori Vallow's actions say everything anyone ever needs to know about how she felt about her children, family members, and friends, especially how she felt about her ex-husband. We are learning that Lori Vallows seems to enjoy inflicting pain onto anyone that isn't basically walking in her light. This actually includes her own children, Tylee and JJ, especially JJ, her own son. We especially start learning this in this part of the timeline, because earlier, Lori had left JJ for months when Charles was alive. Do you remember that? Now, she just killed his father. Many people following this story believe that this might have happened in front of the children, Tylee and JJ. The lack of structure and all this chaos moving around these two children instantly would have been incredibly difficult on them, especially JJ as an autistic child. And JJ's grandmother, Kay Woodcock, continues to reach out to police and investigators with her concerns about the shooting of her brother Charles. After all, Kay knew the threats that Charles was getting earlier. Kay is struggling with the fact that Lori is being overlooked so easily. It must be shocking for Kay to see so many people still supporting Lori after July 11th of 2019. Only a few people actually see how loony Lori is during this time period, and there's nobody else in the family really concerned about how Lori's acting. As the end of July approaches, Kay writes the detective Nathan Moffat. In the subject of this email, Kay is speaking about Bailey, a service dog for JJ. Charles had bought that dog for JJ. Bailey was with JJ specifically to help him deal with his autism. Also, JJ was dealing with a lot of anxiety, and Bailey was there to help him get through that. Anyone who knew JJ knew that this dog was important in JJ's life. Lori, being the mother of JJ, should understand exactly how important Bailey is. Now, Kay comes up with an idea that she was wondering, where was Bailey when Charles was shot? Kay tells detectives that Bailey usually had free reign of the Vallow home. So it's obvious in the email that Kay's wondering, where was Bailey during this? What was he doing? Was he even in the house? It's important to know if Bailey was in the house when Charles was shot. Kay tells detectives that she's wondering, did Bailey protect JJ? Another thing to think about is there was a gun that went off in that house, and did residue disperse onto Bailey? That would say whether or not he was in the house. You got to remember, during this altercation, Charles loved this dog, and this dog loved Charles. Kay also mentions the fact that Adam Cox, Lori's brother, should be calling him soon. She says that she prays that that is what Adam does. I guess Kay is hoping for some more information. If the detective talked to Adam, maybe, the detective could clue Kay in on the conversations with other witnesses. If you were Kay, wouldn't you be concerned if these witnesses are sharing truths, the new information, or even if they call the detectives at all? You got to remember also that the Woodcocks are not certain who they can trust. Remember, the detectives took their sweet time on this case, and they didn't treat this case seriously or timely as they should have. For Kay, it must have felt as if they were sweeping this case under the rug with little or no concern for the well-being of JJ and Tylee. It must have been incredibly emotional as Kay is trying to investigate what happened. Kay is receiving a crash course on investigating her brother's death. And again, I want to mention it must be incredibly hard knowing that these investigators are kind of taking their sweet time. They're very slow. Something else happened on July 22nd of 2019. Chad and Lori continue to text one another while Chad is juggling his family life and his little lustful lover life. He begins to sound a little more excited. In this text, they talk about the plan. So what is that plan? Chad texts Lori.
I love you. I am with my son. We are going to see the other side of heaven, too.
Then Lori texts Chad.
I love you.
Not as much as I love you.
Lori's plans are to elope to Kauai, and Chad responds with,
Hopefully, we can be there soon.
Lori seems to be overrun by her thoughts, and her thoughts are her plans. Lori seems incredibly impatient for this plan to start. Lori continues to text Chad with how similar Kauai is to Hawaii, how beautiful it is. She's excited. Okay, let's jump back. Remember Bailey, JJ's service dog. July 22nd of 2019, Lori is making plans to get rid of Bailey, JJ's best friend. It's interesting that she chooses after Charles has passed away to get rid of the dog. For me, it seems like Charles isn't here any longer to protect JJ or to put his foot down. She can do whatever she likes. According to one of Lori's cousins, she says she was out with Lori and her date one night when they ran over a cat and they both started laughing about it. Her cold-hearted ways, her lack of remorse seems to have started at a very early age. Unlike most women who love animals, Lori is not that woman. It's speculated that the only reason Bailey was there is because of Charles. Now, in the future, it's December 29th, 2019, investigators will actually start talking to a man who trained Bailey. They find out that it's around July 22nd that Lori reaches out to him and wants to return Bailey. The guy's name is Neil Mistress. However, he says that Lori doesn't really provide specifics for how Charles passed away and why exactly she's getting rid of this dog. But Neil agrees to pick the dog up around 8:15 of 2019. Lori Vallow is on a roll this day because she also reaches out to JJ's school, Life Academy. She talks to an official school representative, informs them that her husband had died, but guess how? She tells school officials that Charles had passed away due to suicide. This is a blatant lie, and she has done it several times to several people. This accurately tells you who she is, what type of woman she is, and how honest she is. Doomsday Mom had destroyed so many lives and relationships already, but she will continue to progress in those dark thoughts and actions. Lori made plans to take away her son's dog. Now, she's about to take away her son's grandparents, too. Because it's around this time that Lori begins cutting and limiting Kay's contact with her own grandson. Lori's abuse towards her son, daughter, family members, they're just warming up. She has plans to build a bonfire. She is using people closest to her as the wood for that blaze. Lori's father, Barry, is starting to have questions and thoughts of doubt about his daughter, whereas her mother, Janice, well, she's just enabling her daughter. The thing is Janice knows exactly how, mean Lori can be, but she's forgive her time and time again because she loves her. Now let's talk about these friends and supporters Lori has surrounding her. You have Zulema, Melanie Gibb, Melanie Boudreaux, and many people are wondering, why is it Melanie Boudreaux is following her aunt? Some people are speculating that Melanie Boudreaux was scared of her aunt. Some are saying because Melanie Boudreaux was getting into this stuff along with her aunt. Well, if you're smart enough, it's easy to figure out If you get on her bad side, you may end up with bullets in your chest. Aubrey is one of those women that is starting to come around and understand what a zombie means. It's easy to understand that Melanie Gibb, being ranked so high within this group, had to know exactly what losing your ranking meant. Zulema, on the other hand, we think she knew, but she wasn't really smart enough, in my opinion, to understand it, really, as she should have. Don't get me wrong, she knew exactly what she was doing was wrong, and so did Melanie Gibb. Now, there's parts of Melanie Boudreaux that makes me wonder, how did she really feel during all this? Well, I'm going to leave it up to you guys to kind of figure it out when we get into October and November. If you thought things were crazy, well, they're about to get crazier. They have now considered Julie Rowe an evil witch. They don't like her. In fact, they are accusing Julie of spiritually attacking many of the girls within the group. All the people that they once looked up to are now beneath them. And for me, I thought, Lori must really feel like she has the upper hand here now that they carried out whatever it is that they carried out to take Charles' life. Not only did they get rid of Charles, they also kind of send this warning that you get low enough on this ranking system, this is what happens. Now, on July 23rd of 2019, Lori and Chad are texting about who is going dark or light, and Lori wants Chad to actually look into her son JJ once again. Lori is saying that there's some weird things that happened in the middle of the night, and it's like they distracted us with Blake. So what Lori's referring to is all these spiritual attacks are happening, and the Blake that she's speaking about is her niece's son. She then wants Chad to go check on her daughter, Tylee Ryan, again. She's being super sweet and helpful, and she cleaned her room. See if she got switched. Totally not her. Tylee Ryan loves and adores her mother. We know that Tylee Ryan is extremely intelligent and that she most likely knows what's going on. How scary could that be? Lori is saying things like she cleaned her room, she's being helpful, so it sounds like she's really trying. She's scared to death after Charles has passed. She's scared of being a zombie, and she's going to try her darndest to not stay in the dark. What's weird is Chad's reading Lori, and it seems to me that he's trying to do whatever she's kind of suggesting. And he responds with, yes, she was switched. Please let me know when you can actually talk, and I will explain it to you. Lori had actually sent texts saying good morning, how she missed him, how she didn't sleep much, how she needed to have JJ checked. During this time, it's when Chad and Tammy are actually visiting Springville in Utah. And it's for a movie opening for one of his authors. I think it's called The Fighting Preacher. Excuse me, guys, I don't remember. And Tammy shows up at her sister's door to give her her birthday present. According to Tammy's sister, she said when she received the present, she noticed that Chad didn't get out of the car. He just sat there, had no interest of visiting with them at all. She said this wasn't what normally happened when they come to visit. She knows something strange is happening with their relationship, whether it's with them or with Tammy. Something's going on. It just feels off, and she feels bad for Tammy. Now, something else interesting I want to throw in here is Annie Eliason, I think that's how you say it, says that Alex Cox did murder Joe. They say that Lori actually paid Alex to kill Joe Ryan. And this person told April Raymond and Angeline Hall. So guys, this is just kind of hearsay, stuff going around. But it just seems that, there's some crazy things going on wherever Lori goes. I'm going to pause here because I put a lot of work into these last few videos. And guys, take a moment to check out Dulce, Monkey. These children are missing. They continue to go missing. Their cases have no answers. Imagine what their parents are going through. So just take 1 minute, share their story. It doesn't take long on your social media today. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.